Hello there, and welcome to the Wandering Wolf. I'm your host, Mark Rhodes. Very sweaty, Mark Rhodes. Just
What have
feeling.
you been up to, Mr. Rhodes?
I don't want to talk about it. Just just some of that, some of this, some of that. I'm so sweaty. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm
You're
just
looking
coming back.
quite trim. You're looking
Oh,
very.
bless you. Well, I've had an haircut. Probably that's probably what it is.
That's what it is.
But joining me as always, my good friend Mr. Craig Forward with his England top on, because we're not wearing Wolves tops because we haven't won and we don't deserve to wear the tops at the moment because we're so crap.
It's actually because I'm just done with this season now.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it being over. And get some tennis and golf on the go, I think.
Oh, I know.
I'm not worried about this terrible lot down the road.
Yeah. Evening to Amalou Burton, Shane Cooper, how you doing, mate? Shrewsbury Wolf, and Mr. Dan Evans. Evening, everybody getting in touch. I don't know whether this is like kind of a therapy session, but
I feel it needs to be.
I feel as though we all need to just vent, because I know we've been saying this for a while, mate, and I know we've been saying it off screen, in text and all this stuff. We have down tools, haven't we? Like, the team have completely down tools. There's no fight. It's a tepid testimonial type performance. We'll get on to the Norwich game, but let's talk, because we are obviously here to talk about the Man City game as well. Let's start with the Man City defeat. And they did use defeat. They used the defeat all over the pitch. Oh my God, Kevin De Bruyne, man, he's some kind of cyborg, man. Like, there are some times when you watch a player on another side, and you've just got to say, fair. Absolutely fair. When he scored that third one, and I just went, how can I be angry at anyone here? It's like he's unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's the best. It's the best performance from an opposing player I've ever seen on a Molineux pitch.
Yeah, it wasn't just him. There's many good players, and the way they play as a unit and just move around and move the ball, and everything about it was like a fantastic team. Do you know what I mean?
Was like the Harlem Globetrotters of football.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Actually, yeah, that's a good.
It really was. It was like chasing shadow. We were chasing shadows, you know.
Do you know what?
It's not difficult for our defense, but you know.
I think when they scored, it was kind of like a collective. You could almost feel it in the ground. And then, like, we actually, I thought that's it. We're done for. It's going to be 10.
Yeah.
But then when we actually came back, and we had some fight about us, which was really good to see. And obviously we got the goal.
Great goal.
Which was class. Dendoncker finally not skying it. Was amazing. And we thought, bloody hell.
Well, we just pissed him off. That's all. We just basically said, oh no, they've gone up from second to fourth gear, and that was it. Then we just annoyed them. We annoyed them.
But then obviously it was a masterclass thereafter. But the good thing about that performance, if there was anything really, was we didn't roll over and die. We wanted to keep coming back, and funnily enough, we were causing them problems. We did create stuff, and it wasn't just like, wow, look at them, heads down. And actually, the scoreline was quite flattering in the end, I think, for City.
Incredibly flattering, the inside of the post twice.
Yeah, but we were, we did keep trying to make stuff happen. I mean, we did do a lot of ball chasing, but we kept trying to come forward, we kept trying to come again, which is great. Whereas the contrast to like yesterday, which was like said, down tools, but yeah, fair play to City. I mean, there's not really too much you can say about that apart from awful refereeing again, and absolute blatant refereeing decisions for the top side. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Honestly, it was mental. So
yeah,
it's so obvious.
I agree. I agree to a point, but yeah, City. are a fantastic team, but we did allow them to be. Like you look at what West Ham did to them a couple of days ago, and where was it, yesterday or Saturday? I can't remember. But like that 2-2 draw, like that's fight. That's like that's saying to City, like, we're a team as well. We're a decent team. We like rolled over and let them tickle our bellies, and we look at this defence now, and the difference between the defence now and the defence back in January is night and day.
Yeah, you could have missed Kilman so bad.
Or a bus through some of that defending. It like they're so far away from each other, and that was yesterday as well. Like Connor Cody, my God, what is he doing? What is he doing? And good, I'm really glad Lage took him off for half time, because he needed to come off after half an hour. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but like Pookie could have scored 4 goals in 20 minutes, and it wouldn't have been. They could have done a Man City, Norwich. It's only because they can't finish is that we actually scraped a draw. I was seething after yesterday's performance. You can put it down to City being a fantastic team, and they are. Norwich are not. They hadn't scored in five games, and we've
actually made Norwich look good every time, haven't we?
But that's us. That's the way we're playing. There was not a shot on target on their goal. The relegated team, like the worst team in that division by a long, long way. You know, granted, Watford are pretty bad as well, but they are there for a reason. And we were just absolutely shocking. We had no ideas. Raul Jimenez, for all the grief that we give him, he had no support whatsoever. He had nothing. Like he was feeding off scraps. I felt so sorry for him, because he's one player.
That's been true for ages.
Yeah, I know, and you know, and you could say the Norwich game for me, it stood out more than any other game for me. He was just going, what the hell am I supposed to do? I've got no support. Hwang is a disgusting player with 20 minutes to go. Just start him. If he's got to come off after 70, then fine. If he's got to come off after 30, what are you doing playing John Ruddy in goal? Like, I don't care whether it's his last game. I couldn't care less. We are still fighting for 8th place here. And everybody's saying, like, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Prize money matters in the Premier League. Like, if you're going to stop playing football with, let's be honest, 10 games to go because you don't think you're going to get into Europe, you're a disgrace and you don't deserve to wear the shirt. And that's what's happened with our defence, especially. Like, it's disgusting behaviour.
But it just seems like
he's docked. Like, it's disgusting. Absolutely. And you could see Bruno Lage's face. He was like that for most. He looked like Nuno when we played Albion and we lost to Albion. He was just like, I just don't know what to do with this team.
What do you think about Bruno going forward?
I think he's going to go, mate. Like unless something staggering happens, like we bring in, you know, we were talking about this before we actually went live about Ruben Neves and Barcelona being in for him. Like, that's fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind him going abroad, to be honest. Like, all the teams, Barcelona, if they cough up some money for him, or they give us about 6 or 7 of their players, I can live with that. What I can't live with is Bruno Lage not being able to get the players that he wants and needs and deserves. He's got us maybe a top 10 finish if we don't get spanked 7-0 by Liverpool, which could happen, by the way. We'll come on to that. I'm thinking that, like, if he's given a nucleus of players, that because they obviously don't want to play for him, a lot of these players. So get him gone. Get him out my football club. That bloke deserves another chance. It ain't Bruno Lage has done absolute miracles with that team. He really has. I think it's disgusting the way he's been treated. I really do.
Yeah, agreed. So, well, the reason for the performances of late, I think that's probably because, there's obviously been things happening behind the scenes, but I think people have already agreed the futures, and it's just finish the season, just get it over with, just try and
Understand you're a
get it. It's
professional
very
footballer.
strange because, you know, we were fighting up until, you know,
Talking about Champions League, mate.
Yeah, so the victory against Villa, we were thinking, right, that's it, you know, top four still at this point.
Yeah.
And then just to let it slide the way it has. I mean, thank God we got those points on the board, because we'd
be relegated.
We'd be going down as fast as Newcastle are going up. And we'd be literally probably fifth from bottom or something.
I completely agree.
We'd
be fighting with Leeds, Burnley, and Everton. We would if like we hadn't had like a really good middle part of the season.
Yeah, but like you say, I don't think any of that is a reflection on Lage. I think he's done a fantastic job with the tools that he's been given. But the players need to look at themselves. But I just think a lot of them know that. I think we're going to see a huge overhaul, and I think they already know they're off.
Bloody hope we do.
And it is bad, but I think that's just, I don't know. Points are on the board, aren't they? And it's one of them. I think we'll finish eighth.
It's happened too many times.
It's just so frustrating, isn't it? Where you think with the right attitude, with the right, a bit more of investment where we could be, and you might not get that chance again. That's what I always think. You've got to go for it at the time. You can't think.
Well, you look
at next time.
Well, that's it. Dan Evans and Dutchy TV have brought up like two really interesting points here, and I tend to agree. Let's go with Dan's first, because that is interesting. It was interesting that Bruno apparently did not go back out and join in with a lap of appreciation. That says a lot to me. That says I really think that he's down. He's really like down in the dumps. He doesn't know what to do. He needs support, whether that be from the players that are not playing for him. This happened at Benfica, though, mate. That's the reason why Benfica got rid of him. He had a fantastic start, and then he lost the dressing room. And, you know, maybe that's on him. But I just think you've got to play for the shirt. You've got to. Like, no matter how the manager wants you to play, just bloody play. You're a player. Get out there and play. And I've not seen that for the last, I don't know, since Villa.
I heard that sort of, whatever that ceremony crap was yesterday, was a bit flat anyway. I think most people had left, hadn't they? And nobody was really hanging around. It was more players that were leaving. No, you wouldn't. No. But what I don't get. All the players are having like family photos and like, oh, thanks. Hang on, we've still got a game to play.
And also, the bare cheek?
I know it's the last home game, but I don't think that should be happening until it's all over. I think there should be
the bare cheek of actually like coming out with your kids after a performance like that, and
I'd call it off.
I'd expecting. No wonder Bruno didn't come out. He's probably embarrassed.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, like unless you're leaving, then fair enough. Go and have a picture of your kids or your missus or whatever. But I just think there's a time and a place, and I know it's the last home game, and I get that, but there's still a job to do. The season's not finished yet. It's almost conceding. Liverpool just do what you like next week. Who cares? We're done.
Yeah, Pixel Yeti Media, more like a lap of shame. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
Well, they should be out there applauding the fans that did stay for putting up, for sticking with it, because it's not been good enough. We should be in a better position.
Let's have a look at this question, because, guys, we really need your help on this one, because, Shane has said an overhaul is needed. And he's asked, who would you keep? Now, Jose Sarr, for me, without question, has been our player of the season. If it wasn't for him, then I think we'd have probably 12 to 13 points less than what we have now. And that looks, we're on 37, 38 points, and we're talking about a relegation battle here. He has really, really been a fantastic signing, and he deserves all the plaudits that he gets. Before his little, I don't know, he had a few games that he didn't play well, and he
can be a bit hot-headed, kind of.
Yeah, I'm talking about Max Kilman actually, but you're right about Jose Sarr. Like, Max Kilman for me has had a fantastic season. Saiss, up until he went to the African Cup of Nations, was really solid. It was always Cody, Kilman, and Sois for me in the back three up until he's had his head turned, Sois, and he's always got a mistake in him. We need to get rid of Sois, unfortunately, to go forward. I think Bolly as well. Bolly for me,
Yeah, strange one with Bolly, isn't it? He's been out for that long, and then he came back and was great, but it's just not quite.
He looks like he can't be arsed. But that it says a lot for me, mate. You know, when Totti Gomez, he absolutely went in like full-blooded and smashed that Norwich player, and basically it was like he'd scored a goal. That's what the Wolves fans want. They want some commitment. They want some hunger, and that's what the kids have been doing. You look at the senior players the last 5 or 6 games. They've downed tools and they've gone on their holidays. The kids have played really well. Chiquinho, I'd say Aitnari, I think he's been really, really good. I think, who else? Well, Gomez as well. He's been great. He's not done anything wrong. Okay, Shrewsbury Wolf has put keep. Let's have a look at that one. Sar, Semedo, Totti, Cody, Kilman, Johnny, Aitnari, Mourinho, Matilio, Kundal, Neto, Silva, Pedence, Chiquinho. The rest would all be available for transfer. I'll keep Neves, but he's for his own sake. He can go. Can't argue with that, really.
That's probably about right.
Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8.
Trouble is, Matinho's probably not got the legs for it anymore. I mean, we've been saying that for 12 months now. So
yeah.
Eventually, that's got to be phased out. Silva, I don't know about Silva. I don't think we can keep on with this. If we want to move forward and progress.
Well, he was crap against Norwich when he came on.
Can't keep saying he's going to score soon. He's going to do something to work.
Well, Norwich was the game to do it. Norwich was the game to do it.
Like, he should be banging into a brace against Norwich.
I'm sick of him, actually. He can do one as well. Silva.
Yeah.
Silva can do one. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think we need 2 strikers, and unfortunately, unless he starts pulling his finger out, then Raul Jimenez can go as well. Jimenez and Silva.
I think Jimenez is going anyway, to be honest.
I don't think. Well, it's either him or Lage that leaves, because I don't think he wants to play for Bruno Lage.
I think yeah.
It's one or the other.
It's going to be interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lage moved on. And
it wouldn't surprise me either.
It did take me by surprise when I think you mentioned that. I don't know if it last week or the week before for the first time, and I thought, what? But actually, I'm hearing it more and more that he wasn't the first choice, and there's unrest or whatever, and then obviously with what happened yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of, and who could blame him if he just said, you know what, I've had enough for this.
You can't blame him. You can't blame him for getting us to 8th in the league in his first season in charge of a top flight team with that squad, and he's got us into 8th position with 1 game to go. Do you think
he's already? When do you think that conversation happens? Like, do you think they say, right, you've got, or we're allowing X amount of million for transfers? What's your hit list, or give us your list and we'll try and hit them? Or do you have to commit to it now, or does he just say, get these or
done, mate? If I'm being totally honest, I think everything's been done, and that's the reason you're seeing the way it's playing out. Because Sois has already got a deal somewhere else. Neves has probably got a deal somewhere else. You look at the players who are, and I think you can see straight away who are leaving. You can see, and that's the way business is done. I would imagine with Mendes, like Mendes is saying, this is what's happening. This is who we've got coming in, but. I don't begrudge that system, but
I don't think Bruno's going to put up with that for another year. I think he kind of swallowed it at the start because that was it. If you want the job, you want to be back in the Premier League, of course you do.
Yeah.
Albeit he's the lowest paid in the league, and he's done the most fantastic job. Like, he deserves so much more, doesn't he? But
yeah.
I fear that he's not going to get it. So.
Dan Evans, let's get that, because that's a really good question, actually.
Do you think he was there to steady the ship and see if we get anywhere with Bruno? And maybe that's why we did not back him in the summer and January.
Yeah, we've got him on the cheap.
The thing is, we don't spend money in transfer market anyway.
But what's happened? What in January we were in a great position, and Fosun just went, well, we don't need to give him any money because we're not going down.
Yeah,
that's basic. That is literally what they had a conversation. Just went, we don't need anyone because we're staying up.
Yeah. Why spend money? Yeah.
I think Bruno is a stopgap. Dushy TV. I don't think he was first choice. I think we're going round in circles here because I really do think that the manager that we've wanted for a while is Julien Lopetegui. Wow. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's.
Please let me know. I'm butchering this name. Julien Lopetegui. But he's learn Spanish words with Mark. That's the one. That's him. Yeah. Pixel Yeti mate. That's the guy who is going to be our next manager. And the reason being is because we've wanted it. Fosun have wanted him from day dot, and he was coming, and then he got the Spain job, and then he went to Real Madrid, had a shocker, went back to Sevilla, and he's done really well with Sevilla. And I think he's going to be the Wolves' next manager, personally. Yeah. I've just got a feeling that Bruno Lage, they bought him in because he was raring to go. He had an exciting way of playing. We bought him in for this season, lost the first 3 games, and he's gone, oh my God, like we ain't got the players to play this system. Let's go back to the trusted, tried and tested formula that Nuno had, few tweaks, and then let's see what we got. And he's done remarkably well because he hasn't got the players that he wanted, really. It's Nuno's team still, with a few exceptions, Jose Sarr being one of them and probably the main one. But I think they've stitched Bruno Lage up big time. I think they've stitched him up. I think you could see it in his body language. Yeah, he's cheap and he's Portuguese. He's a Fosun's dream. Yeah. I just think they want people on the cheap.
Yeah.
They do. It's like it's a business at the end of the day. And with Fosun, like, as much as we've never been in a better position.
I'm the biggest advocate for that, but there's got to come a time where you do dip into your pocket a little bit more to try and not only take you to that next level, but every season that goes past, you have to do that little bit more just to keep up. Because there's other teams fighting for our positions, as we've already said.
Ian Thomas, Lopetegui's Palmy Army don't sound right. We can make it work, Ian. We could make it work, mate.
We'll think of something.
Lopetegui's Palmy Army. No, that's all right. As long as it's got 3 syllables, which sound.
So, you like you say, Newcastle are going to be taking a spot. Leicester are probably going to be taking a spot.
I'm telling you, it's happening. It's happening. It's coming. It's already been done. I'm so sweaty. I'm so sorry. It's happening. Bruno Lage. This bloke, he's been so stitched up. Which manager comes in the first year of a Premier League season that he's ever been in charge of a football team with the size of squad that he's going, where are the bloody players? And he gets us a top 10 finish in his first season. And he's like, I just think he's been shafted.
And under the lowest paid.
Yeah. Sean Dyche gets more money than you. Like, we don't anymore. But do you know what I mean? Like, I just think
his payout was probably bigger than Bruno's salary.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a question for you.
Where's he go?
For you, Mr. Craig Forward, and for everybody actually. Right, Nuno hasn't got a job at the moment.
Yeah, I saw that.
What would you say to that?
let's not go backwards. We want to go forwards. And why would Nuno come back to work under Fosun? It obviously went very wrong at the end. He's got fantastic memories. We've got
Never go back.
That time away, transform the club. Fantastic. Always be a legend, but you don't ever go back. That is done. And that is my view. And what we all think about that, but definitely don't do that. So if Bruno was to go, where does he go?
Mm-hmm. Where does he go?
Yeah.
I think like somewhere like, oh God. I think a Premier League team would not do bad getting him. Like what? I think, we're talking like, he's already gone, but this is how I feel. I really do feel he was a stopgap. Like, I don't think that Fosun thought he was going to do this well. I thought he wouldn't take us down, but I really do believe that they didn't think he'd do this well with the players.
I don't think he was ever supposed to finish 8th.
No.
Was he?
No,
that's
no.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
there's loads of people getting in touch. So Dad Evans, Nuno did say it's a goodbye for now. Gee, I tell you what a story that would be though if he did come back.
Okay, say he came back. Say Nuno came back. Short-term buzz, no doubt.
On a cold, you'd be doing cartwheels, mate.
Fans would love that. And then say he got us relegated or did really poor. What happens then? It's ridiculous.
Well, he's tarnished his legacy, but he's still got loads of money in the bank.
Yeah. So he doesn't care. So the sooner that everybody realises that he doesn't care.
No.
Better for everyone.
Yeah.
So let's leave that. Let's not. I know we do sometimes go a bit crazy on here, but I think that's a new low. Don't think that's good at all.
I'm telling you that a Sevilla manager.
Lopetegui.
We'll work on that. But him, wonder if Fosun thought he would bomb and then it would look better on them when they sign Lopetegui. It's a very good question. Ooh, Ian Thomas. Whoa. Wow. Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Well, no, I agree, but why not? Yeah. Yeah. Dutchy TV.
No, why?
No. Dutchy TV. Wolves needed a stopgap, and Bruno put himself in the shop window. Win-win situation.
Yeah, definitely.
I think like it's coming home to roost now. Like we're gonna have a massive overhaul this summer, whether it be manager, players. Like everything's got a cycle. We always talk about the cycle, like, and it's come to an end. Like, I just think that Willy Bolly won't be there, Saïs won't be there. We're going to get a lot of players from Barcelona this because I do actually think Neves will go for about 40-45 million because that's the deal that Mendes will do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just think that's what's going to happen. I can see it, man. We're gonna have a huge overhaul, but will that be with Bruno Lage in charge of the football team?
Yeah, I don't think there's many that think that he will be there, to be honest, anymore.
Yeah, whether it be Fosun looking elsewhere or him just go.
Do you think he'll just after the last game that's it?
Yeah. Look at it, it's all about body language for me. And the body language that I saw with him against Norwich, well, I could just see he looked a defeated man, and it wasn't the fact that we were drawing 1-1 with Norwich. It was the fact that he couldn't get his point across to the players. Like he couldn't get them to do what he wanted. And if you're losing the dressing room, whether it be the first game of the season or the last game of the season, like there's issues. Like the core of it is either you have a mass clear out of players and get your own in, which I think we will, but not as much as what Bruno Lage needs. I really don't. And then, or you change a manager to get the best out of the players that you bring in, 3 or 4 of those players, and I think that's more manageable for Fosun. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, definitely.
I just think it's hard. It's going to be harder for them to give Bruno Lage the money and the resources to get in 8-9 players that he wants, rather than change him and get a new manager in and change 3 or 4.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I just think it's a win-win for them, really, because they're not forking out that much money. They're forking out a lot more money on the manager because of who he is. But I can see it happening, mate. I hope, you know what? I hope I'm wrong, because I think Bruno Lage deserves another season. He deserves another season.
He definitely deserves it. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. But
I just don't think he'll get it.
No, nor me.
I don't think he'll get it.
There's no question that he deserves it. I mean, if we probably look back to that show at the start of the season, and it was, where do you think we're going to finish? And we predicted the table.
Yeah, I said 11th.
We sort of said 10th, 11th, I think, 12th. Which even then was like sort of hopeful, really, with the new manager.
Oh God, yeah. That was
a position we've been in. To lose as many as we've lost and drawn in the last few weeks and still be 8th is remarkable.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Interesting. Shrewsbury Wolf.
It's always less likely to back a new manager than a manager who needs a rebuild. It seems like Fosun are turning into the Glazers. God.
I don't know about that. I don't think it's as toxic as that, but it could get there. It's like, I feel as though, I know it's bad, but we are a top 10 Premier League team. Like that, that's still where we are. I agree, Shane.
This is the thing.
Yeah. Worries teams like Newcastle, Leicester, etc. They're going to strengthen more than us. I think Everton will as well, because I don't think they'll go down. I would like Leeds to go down purely for the fact that if Leeds don't go down, they will rebuild because they've got more resources than Burnley. I'd quite like Burnley to be in the league because they kind of, where you are with Burnley, resources-wise, where they're going to be fighting.
But this is the thing. This is why you need to strengthen and you need to get better. Every season it gets more difficult because those two clubs there are going to be after our spot.
Well, mate, they're the perfect example, aren't they? They're who we are fighting with along with Villa and probably Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
Brighton
have had a fantastic season as well. I hope you're right. Pixel Yeti Media, Leeds are gone. But saying that, Burnley need to get something from Villa. It is going to be Leeds or Burnley. It just depends. Yeah, we do give them 6 points each season. Yeah, that is true. Where do we see next season going, guys? Because we have this conversation, it seems, every single week about players, managers. What is the solution? What do you think is the problem? Do we need to give Bruno Lage time? Do we need to give him the money? Do we need to get rid of the manager? We can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but let's go to Ian actually, because I don't know the answer to this.
I'm not sure about this either. Has Bruno got his family over here? If not, did he know that it was only for one season?
That's a really good point actually, because it happened with Mourinho, didn't it? With Man United, I think because he used to stay in hotels, didn't he? I don't think it's that. If you've got your family out here, it's different, isn't it? It is.
I don't think he's in a hotel, but it's interesting. That is, you got to look at that.
Yeti Media seems to think now they're in Portugal.
Okay.
Well, that for me,
that says a lot. Yeah.
It says a lot, really. That it's not a long-term project, which is fine. But we need some clarification from people. We need from the big wigs. Like, so, as soon as the season ends, which thank God it does next week, because like God,
so
it feels
ready
like
for
it's been dragging for so long. But saying that, Andrew Caddick, that is a good point. Did Nuno have his family here? And that, yeah. Because that's why he struggled in the pandemic, because he couldn't get over to see him. So really,
but
that
weren't they
might
here
have
before that? Weren't they here before that though? And then they went back.
I don't know, but that's a good point actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shane
Yeah.
Cooper,
Where are we? Oh yeah.
that's it, mate. He seems to think it's going to be a new manager who will get the best out of the existing players, because it's that's that's where I think we're going here, Shane.
Yeah. Well, I think if you just look at it like the fact that we're even discussing it at this length, something's not right, is it? Between
I agree,
top level and manager, the fact that we're even saying his body language is no good and he's not happy, is he? Like yesterday,
no, he's not.
Even if we'd have drawn one or whatever, he should still hold his head up high and be like, right, I finished 8th, 9th. I've got one game left at Liverpool. Thanking the fans, thanking the staff, thanking everybody. Okay, yeah, it's almost party time. For want of a better word, he should be strutting around there like, Billy Big Balls, really. So the fact that he wasn't involved at all, wasn't taking part, the more I think about that,
I think
it's pretty obvious, really, what's happening.
I think the problem we've had is that we've had hope of certain things. If we had been languishing, 14th, 15th in the league, and then come up to where we are now, like we're talking a completely different frame of mind from the fans. It's probably because we had a bad start, a great middle, and a bad end, and that's the problem. Like, we haven't finished well. Like, if we'd finished really well and gone from 13th to 8th in the last 4 or 5 weeks, then the fans are just, it's a different frame of mind, isn't it? It is interesting to know how long the contract is. Dan,
it was only a year, I'm sure.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I'm sorry, nobody can tell me that bloke doesn't deserve another year. Nobody. And I think Fosun have shot themselves in the foot here, because they didn't think that he was going to do as well as he did. It's not they're not saying like, think you're going to get relegated, because that's not good for anyone, Fosun included. But I don't think they thought he was going to get so close to European football.
I mean,
Shrewsbury Wolf, you're right. Yeah, I completely agree. Go on, Craig.
We peaked too soon into our Premier League career. Our expectations have been warped since we got to Europe. But the fact that we did it means that we're decent. So we should have some belief in ourselves and go and get after it every time. Shouldn't worry about it or seems to be like a fear of it, and it might cost us some money, or our squad's not big enough. You just got to do it. You just got to make the investment and try, reach as high as you can and worry about it after.
It depends where Fosun see us as a football club, because if they're just wanting us to retain our Premier League status, then that's completely different to us fighting for the top 6, because there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money for each place that you want to go up in the Premier League. You're going to have to spend £100 million to get there, and are they willing to do that? I don't think they are.
Which is why you don't juggle your squad around like that in the last home game.
Yeah.
When there's that much at stake, it could be another player. You should go and wallop Norwich like 4-5-0 and really put a show on for the fans.
Yeah. Who have actually had their season tickets put up. Not drastically, but they've still put a marked increase in the season tickets for that shower. And I feel really, really sorry for most people who have to watch that. 19 goals in 19 games is disgusting. And we scored 4 in one game against Watford. That is disgusting.
Well, I just want to read this out because this is a really interesting point that I was going to bring up. So, Dutchy TV read yesterday that the Q&A session with Jeff and co was recorded back in April. How is that relevant now with what's gone on? And I saw this on Twitter and I thought, why has that been recorded in April when so much can happen and change week to week?
Well, it has.
They're going to put that out. So it's just a complete load of nonsense, really.
It's not. That is nonsense. What you should have is do it the day after we played Liverpool. The day after we've played Liverpool, that's the end of the season.
Live stream it.
You know, and I know a lot of people say, well, they don't have to do it. Yes, they bloody do. You don't come into this club and say what you've said, you know, and I'm a massive fan of Fowson, and like they've done incredible things for this football club, but you can't promise what they've promised and not deliver. You know, I think we've been very fortunate with the 4 seasons in the Premier League that we've had. 7th, what was it, 13th, 14th, and now a top 10 finish. Like that's solid. That is really, really solid. But when they came in, they said they want us to be Champions League. For that to happen, there needs to be a lot of money pumped into this football club.
Well, we're so far off that at the moment. Looking at
absolutely
City the other night, incredible.
Yeah,
and that's with us about to get rid of some very good players.
Well, we are
talking about
Neves is gone.
Yeah.
I just
maybe perhaps Newcastle. This one. Look, Fosun are going to have pie on their faces when Newcastle go rocketing past us next season. That is 100% going to happen next year.
Yeah, Newcastle will be higher than us in the table next year.
It'll be interesting to see Fosun's reaction.
Yeah,
when they see that spending some money, in my opinion, Newcastle probably will get it right, and it will happen for them.
Villa have already signed Coutinho for next season.
Yeah,
that for 17 million.
Great business. Yeah.
That is fantastic business. Like, as much as like I hate Villa with a passion, but I tell you what, that transfer activity is wonderful. Yeah, Ian, you are right. Like we're not crapping on Fowson. We're not. Like, this is the longest being in the Premiership, and we will be in the Premiership for a long time. There's no doubt in my mind that we will have enough to be better than the 3 teams. Well, the 3 teams that come up from the Championship, we'll have a better squad than them. We'll have better players because of the George Mendes connection. We just will. That's just the way this works, and we need to either make our peace with it, or we need to think, well, what's the next? Who's going to come in? Here's a question: who's going to come into this football club with unlimited resources, like Fowson, and do a better job than what Fowson have done? Like, I don't know. I just think we either just get on board with the model, or, well, we just get on board with the model. Like we you know, we can say Fowson out. I'm not. We can say Fowson out until, you know, the cows come home. But we are an established Premier League club, and maybe that is what Fowson want us to be. It's the problem is that we've had so much success going into Europe, semi-finals, all this stuff. Nice to see you, Dave. Dave Balls. Let's get Dave up. What's the next 5 years? Can you see a vision? I can see us having a model of a 3-year cycle of players. I can see us doing what we're. This season is the end of the cycle that we've had with players like Neves, Sois, Wally. I think Moutinho will probably go as well.
I was going to say Moutinho as well.
And we'll just have another one. But we have got a contact in George Mendes, I don't care what anybody says. He's going to get us players. We can talk about Fabio Silva. Semedo was a great signing for me. I think he's a great signing. Willy Bolly at the time was a great signing. Johnny is one of the signings, like one of the best wing backs that I've seen play for Wolves, like ever. I think he needs to stay. He definitely needs to stay. Neto, when he's got his fitness up, like he's a £50 million player for me. Like Paris Saint-Germain were like knocking on the door before he like broke his kneecap. Like he's like, yeah, Dan, yeah, you're right. I was going to bring up Southampton actually because like Southampton are like this like weird feeder club. I don't want us to become that. I want us to be our own entity. But if we are a feeder club, let it be Barcelona.
Because, exactly. It looks like it's going to be Barcelona this season, and it might sort of change as players move around and Mendes moves in big circles. But it looks like this summer it's all about Barcelona, given their financial state. So,
which is fine. I don't.
What do you think happens to Traore?
He comes back with his tail between his legs, and he actually tries. I think he's been knocked down a peg or two, and I think he actually will come back. I think he needed it. I think he got too big for his boots. He went to Barcelona, and they kept him on the bench. And I actually think he'll be. You know, we're going to lose money on Traore because I don't think he will sign a new contract. But get what you can because Barcelona ain't going to.
Somebody will buy it. I think somebody will buy
it. Definitely buy it. Tottenham will buy him. Tottenham will buy him. They've been wanted. I've been talking to loads and loads. I've got a lot of Tottenham fans who are friends of mine, and they said, "Traore, bring it. Yeah, we'll have him. We'll have him." Like, I know they won't pay a lot for him, but I just think
it's best to get rid. I think just best. To
get him. I think we will get rid of him. But what I'm saying is that when he does come back, I think he'll have a completely different attitude. You know, like I need to be paid. I need to be paid that. You know, he did. Let's go to Pixel Yeti Media, the Fosun one, because I think that's interesting. Grateful.
This one? No.
Pixel Yeti Media, the one above it, mate. But we will get to that one as well. How's it gone?
Totally.
It's all right.
Here we go. I've got it.
He's got it.
Grateful for Fosun, but think a big issue I have is poor fan communication. If you can't spend money anymore, just be honest and tell us. Yeah. I think next summer season will tell us all we need to know. Yeah, I agree with that. Completely agree. If that thing that they've recorded, if they've changed their direction or they need to say, look, pandemic's really hit hard, we just need to consolidate and we need to do this and that. I think that's okay. But you've got to voice it, haven't you? You've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Completely agree. I think nobody can argue with that then. But it's be interesting. Be interested.
It's really odd because like nothing's ever good enough, is it? As a fan, like unless you know we win like everything, like there's always going to be something that it needs to be done better. As a fan, like that's just the way it is. But I think that's a fair point. I think they do need to be better with their communication with fans, especially, now we are an established Premier League club. It would be nice to know what the vision is, as we've heard, for the next 5 years. Like, what do you want us? Because then our expectations can be tempered. Like, at least show us what you're thinking. Like, don't just say stuff. Like, do it. Like, and that's what's going to happen this summer. You can talk a good game, but if we are getting rid of Ruben Neves and we don't bring in sufficient backup for this squad, we will be fighting relegation next season. That is an absolute certainty.
Yeah,
it just is. Like,
there's no way we can sell Neves and not invest.
No, we just can't. And like Dan, let's put the Morgan Gibbs-White, who has been fantastic for Sheffield United, like fantastic, and fair play to him, he's been brilliant. But if he's the guy that we are, putting all our eggs in the Morgan Gibbs White basket, we will be fighting relegation next season. He is nowhere near the caliber of Moutinho or Neves yet. He's not. He's not as good as
that he
Ben.
can't be there.
Yeah. No, I agree. But why put that pressure on him? We need.
So I think in terms of Gibbs White, I think he's just going to come on and get better and better and better. And he's going to.
Yeah.
I honestly think there's a player there. I think he's a confidence guy, and if he's in new manager, new players, it's his time to shine, and I think he could be tremendous. Really do.
Yeah, well, you know what, mate? I hope you're right because, like, he's done nothing in the Championship that says that he won't. He's been fantastic. He's been absolutely fantastic, and fair play to him for taking that opportunity, and really, really doing what he's done. Because you know, I didn't think he had it in him. So good luck to Morgan Gibbs White. I hope he does come back to Wolves, and I really hope he fights his way into the first 11 because we need somebody like that. Okay, let's have a look at some. Yeah, I want to be excited to watch Wolves again. I think we will, mate. Don't worry. Shrewsbury Wolf, you're right. We'll never be satisfied until we win the quadruple, and then we'll still complain when Wolves don't win the FIFA World Cup. So,
that's true.
That's the Wolves. That's being a Wolves fan. Pixel Yeti Media. Let's get that one up as well. We're nearly done, guys. You can't say we want to be chasing the Prem in 10 years and temper that, then come out this season and say you want to be the biggest club in Europe, but a tightly funded, make up your mind. Exactly. Exactly. Say what you're going to do and do it. Don't stop moving the goalpost. Stop.
Just be honest. Yeah, a bit of honesty. Let's see what this thing is they've recorded. I mean, who knows what that's going to bring, but that's another conversation point, isn't it?
Just be honest with us and just say we want to be a top 10 Premier League club. We don't want to be in the Champions League. We've got a model that suits the team, and we'll fight for cups occasionally. We'll be like, all right, not ideal, but okay. Thanks, Amalu. Much appreciated. We need a formation change for Morgan Gibbs White to work. I can't see him doing well in the midfield too. Oh, I don't know. I know what you're saying. And the Championship and the Premier League are chasms apart. We've seen that from day dot. But I don't know. Jim Bodley, let's get that bad boy up.
Okay, when we started this, good to see you. When we started the season, we crossed our fingers and hoped. Nobody thought Max, Sarr, Ike, Totti, and Silva would have been the success they have become. This season could have been a disaster. Well, we've punched massively above our weight.
We have
done tremendously well. Thank God we got those points on the board when we did. But Kilman and Sarr,
Kilman's been brilliant.
Standouts. Ike, superb most of the season. Totti's been great, but Silva.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, mate.
He's the biggest disappointment, in recent times. To be fair, but
wow.
How much longer has he got to sort of say he'll be good, he'll come good?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, mate.
I don't think so.
I do agree with 95% of that comment. All right, let's finish it up, guys.
You ready for a joke? You ready for the joke?
Yeah, always, mate. Absolutely loved tonight. It's been great. I think it's been really good to get our points across and
the position.
yeah, really has.
Right, I'll leave this one for you then, buddy.
I refuse to accept the fact that I fell overboard on an Egyptian river cruise because I'm in denial. Oh, Ian,
yes,
you absolute legend. Wonderful.
Big fan.
I'm in denial. As always, guys, thanks ever so much. We've got one more live stream, obviously after the Liverpool game. I don't know what to think of that game. I think it's going to be I don't know what to. It could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. But let's keep our morale.
I'm going to say we'll nick a 1-0.
I don't know what you're smoking, but I want
some. Put your money on it. Put your money on it.
It'd be about 500 to 1. It would be nice to stop Liverpool from winning the league. It would be great.
Oh, it would be fantastic.
But yeah, thanks guys. As always, it's been wonderful to have your comments and stuff. And Mr. Craig Forward, always lovely to see your wonderful face.
Yes.
And hopefully, after the Liverpool game, we'll be wearing our Wolves tops.
We'll see. I'll go put this back.
All right, mate. All right, take care, guys, and we'll see you next week. We've been Wandering Wolf.
See you later.